All right. And continue. Do 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 do. A simple table. The Kakula gave it to you. Neat. What was I doing? Soon to be harvested. Yes, I'm aware. Eat. Ah, there we go. Sometimes I forget. Wait, I was looking for a produce bin. Well, at least I ate something. Let's see here. Where is the produce bin? There's usually a place you can... Wonder if I can sell it to Vista. Alright. Wonderful life. Selling crops. Yeah, but it doesn't say where. Crap shipping bin. It's in the shed near your biggest field. Nice. Huh? Doesn't open. Back. Alright, I cannot find the shipping bin for the life of me. That's the coop. Yes. Okay, so now that I have fundamentally been failing, and failing miserably, to find the shipping bin for crops, I'm going to start talking about what I promised to talk about this isn't to say that I've been a fan of the Harry Potter series for a while, but then I stopped being a fan after quite a while. Shelf, no. That's the trash can. And so growing up, there's just one major issue with the story, and that is it doesn't follow the rule of show, don't tell. So, let's see here. Takara's notes, crops, on to harvest. Root crops can be harvested when the flower wilts. You can harvest the fruits from the trees during their season. Shake the trees to make the fruits fall, and then pick them up. That doesn't explain how I ship them. Business, how to ship. Neat. That sucks. So. No. So, one of the examples I can give onto why Harry Potter it tells and doesn't show is when it comes to James. So, spoiler alert, this entire thing is going to be spoilers, but James isn't always explained to be such a good guy. He manages to get everybody to be convinced that somehow he is a good person, he does good things, but they never explain fully what that means. All we know is that we are told that James is a good person, but we're never really shown any actual acts of kindness from him. It's always, explained, and even in the later books, it's only just alluded to, oh, he became a better person because reasons. Which, granted, I know that everybody's different, but at the same time, it's not like a slow, he was a jerk as a kid, and he later ended up being a better person. It's more of we see him as, this awful human being, and then we're supposed to take, J.K. Rowling's word that, oh yeah, he totally became a good person, we should totally think that he is improving upon his life, when there is no evidence to suggest that. And that, makes a huge difference when we're dealing with characters that fundamentally change throughout the course of a story. And I think, having James to be flawed would even be more of an interesting dynamic, instead of Harry saying, okay, my dad is a good guy, everybody's telling me. It would be interesting as a dynamic for Harry to, okay, my dad was a bad person, but I'm not my dad. Why are you treating me the exact same way that my dad, you treat my dad, even though we're two separate people? And that would be an interesting concept in of its own right. Just Harry acknowledging that, hey, by the way, I didn't do any of this. I'm not the one responsible for your misery. And letting the characters work out their problems via acknowledgement that Harry is trying his best to not be his dad. It's just that the way he's being treated is kind of leading up to that kind of thing. And there are a lot of better ways to tell this kind of story other than just, trust me, bro. Trust me. James is a bad guy because I said so. And we're supposed to take on this idea that a lot of these characters are immensely good, but there is this way of adding depth to a lot of these characters very quickly. It wouldn't have taken that much time. It's just J.K. Rowling is lazy as hell, and surprisingly not a good writer. Like, had I been able to rewrite the first book, and this isn't to say, like, it's the worst book series ever, there's very minimum work you need to do to fix the entire thing. The book series as a whole is not the world's worst thing. There are definitely worst books available. If we compare... What's funny is, like, you can easily compare Harry Potter to Twilight, just, like, in terms of writing, because both have very similar problems. It's just that, well, we don't get enough context. Both of them have almost, they're two sides of the same coin in many ways. Twilight won't shut the hell up, and it has very little to do with story, whereas Harry Potter is very paint by the numbers. Let's stick to, like, when it gets down to the actual story, it's so generic. Yay! Found another one. So we have to examine what makes each character really tick. And the answer is basically nothing. We're relying on knowing that these characters are great because J.K. Rowling said they're great. We're relying on believing that these characters do good because that's what the author wants us to believe. Wee. They're probably closed. Must be sleeping. Well, considering the fact that I've been up, I'm not surprised. Yeah. Wee. And if anybody, like, I don't think anybody should really be surprised that a lot of the characters are very, like, even if they're mostly one-dimensional. Sean on YouTube did a really good example. Yes, you're hungry. use okay, I need you to head over to the water. Come on. I need you to head to the water so I can give you a fucking bath. Yes, yes, I'm aware I'm hungry. Jesus Christ. Oh my gosh, this is such a pain in the butt. Oh my gosh, you won't let me bathe you. Nice. Yes, I'm aware I'm hungry. No. I'll let you be dirty then. Oh, Van's here. That's nice. Might as well talk to, Celia. Dun, 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 dun. Wee. Like, there are some characters that I think this is more of a problem with the fan base than the actual author themselves, but you can't really criticize some of the fan favorite characters without people being like really super offended that like, how dare you say anything bad about this? And it's like, okay, but there are some legitimate problems that we need to address. This isn't me being a dick. This is just me literally wanting to acknowledge how fucked up some of this stuff is. Why wouldn't she leave the house? Oh well. I'm probably going to be able to, like, marry her without getting any of the cutscenes. Ooh, I need this. So, an example would be Molly Weasley. Like, putting aside, like, if we really focus on the main issues that really plague this character, the fact that she doesn't listen to Ron at all is very telling. Like, it's almost humorous. Like, oh, he hates maroon and she gives him maroon sweaters. He hates roast beef, yet she gives him roast beef anyway. Hello. This is Valley is such a wonderful place to live. Nice. Yes. Oh, Galen's not home. That sucks. Where the hell is the old man? I am doing great. Thank you for stopping by, Atreyu. Nami, she's awake. Okay. Let's see here. Oh, there we go. Galen. Here you go. Hey, good morning to you. You brought that for me? It's my favorite, yes. Let's focus on getting stuff done. Okay. So I was just saying that when, in the Harry Potter series, we have Molly Weasley who just doesn't listen to any of her sons. And as much as people are like, oh, she is a great mother, is she? I mean, she's nice to Harry, but otherwise, there really isn't anything notable that makes her a great mother. Not to the point where we get so many people liking her. Yes, she is Ron's mom. And I like her as a character, but she isn't deserving as much praise as she gets. This is a character that fundamentally has a lot of character flaws that I feel like are just kind of being ignored for the sake of the fandom. Like, she can literally do magic, yet her house is considered to be a mess, which is kind of insane. Like, how do you have, like... This is a problem with making characters polar opposites of, like, certain other characters. So I can tell where J.K. Rowling was going with Molly Weasley. She was making a character who was the opposite of Petunia. So Petunia being very orderly and neat, Molly Weasley being very messy and unorganized. This would make sense in a narrative sense to see two characters polar opposites. But this doesn't make sense in the terms of literally anything else. The game's graphics look good. I'm not gonna lie. The game looks good, but at the same time, I've heard the story, like, the main story arc, and the story itself is a bit sus. Not gonna lie. Though I'm not going to necessarily put my two cents on that because I haven't actually, I haven't heard about it in a while and I can't remember exactly. Yeah, it's something about the Goblin Rebellion of the 1800s. And in my opinion, that is, it's not a good look. It's not a good look that they have this kind of thing, because then we're getting way too into politics, and that I would rather avoid on the stream, because this isn't even, like... What was it? If I can remember, I should... Yep, you're open for business. Shut the fuck up. Okay, so... I do remember the Harry Potter, Year 5 game being extremely fun. Like, the mechanics of the game were pretty decent. Right now, I'm just going to critique the story from a writer's point of view, rather than trying to focus on any underlying problems that might be political, just because this is something that I feel like can be nitpicked to death without having to get political. Because generally speaking, we have like these, because a lot of people won't acknowledge the writing issues of Harry Potter. They'll usually dismiss it and say, oh, well, there's a reason for it. And it's like, okay. Narratively speaking, though, we need better reasons for things. And then there are just some characters that are, like, underutilized. Let's see here. What do you have? What am I selling today? Do you want to sell that? Yes. How many will you sell? Just all of them. Yes. Yay! Let's see if I can buy anything. What would you like to buy? I am good. Never mind. Like, the best... Where is Cecilia? Is she coming out during summer? She might only come out during summer. I love how everybody stops to watch you, like, oh, boy, you need to get food. Boink. Yeah, so there's, like, the movie itself, the books, all the books could really use a benefit of, let's see here. Back. Now, if the writers of the game really wanted to stick it to J.K. Rowling, they would make it so that you could choose your pronouns and shit. I think that would be, like, really cool. They wouldn't even have to, like, explicitly mention trans people. They could just, like, do that just as a means of showing goodwill. I'm looking to wash. I probably have to be outside. Son of a bitch. I'm always tired. Yeah, you're fine, but you won't move. Sakura won't move, damn it. Wash. There we go. Oh my gosh, took me long enough. I'm not getting it, but that's on me. I'm not going to judge anybody for getting the game. I don't believe in judging people for buying games, even if I don't like the maker. So, you do you. Though I would be lying if I said I wasn't really tempted, if I said I wasn't tempted to pick up the game, because it really does look good. I'm going to bed in a minute. Jesus. What the fuck is that guy doing? Alright. I do find it funny that, in the grand scheme of things, there are a few things that are really hilarious, including the fact that, ooh, if I buy some chickens, I can get some eggs, which made 690 gold. That's great. Order animals, chicken. Oh yeah, that's fine. Again, I'm not going to judge anybody for being a big fan of Harry Potter. I think that that is completely fine. I'm never going to judge anybody for liking something. If it brings you joy, that's fine. I just wish that the fandom was more open to criticism of the books. Because, like, there are some ways that the books could have been a lot better. Like, I love Dumbledore, but I think it would have been nice if characters were allowed to be a bit more cynical over how he behaved. Because overall, it makes sense that people really do love Dumbledore and love the way that he does things, but at the same time, there are like nobody acknowledges, hey, by the way, why did you outside of like one line, nobody's really like, hey, by the way, why did you leave Harry with these awful human beings that fundamentally abuse him? Why aren't you stepping in and saying, hey, let's not treat this kid like shit? Yay! And honestly, I have like a lot of good memories of the books themselves. When I was growing up, I read all the Harry Potter books when and one of my ex-friends, me and her would be obsessed with it, and we would just talk about it for hours. And so I have a lot of positive memories with this ex-friend. And it wasn't even her fault that we stopped being friends in general. It's just now that we're grown up and we have spent like the better part of like a decade away from each other, there is no real reason we can become friends again, which is disappointing but understandable. Yay. And in general, there's a lot of good things that I can say about the books. I just genuinely like a lot of the characters in overall, and I can enjoy the book for what it is. I just hope that the game doesn't go in the direction that I think it does, because story to me matters a lot. And I'm very generous when it comes to my interpretation of people. To me, the only time I'll ever despise anything would be if the message itself was really fucked up. So, an example would... There's really only one example I can give of a story that I find to have no redeeming qualities whatsoever. And that would be the movie That's My Boy. Well, that's because that, in of itself, is just a really fucked up film. And I'm surprised that it was allowed to be released. No. There we go. But then again, I'm not going to go into details because that is like... how do I explain this without... The premise, and I'm going to do a trigger warning real quick because the reason why it's so fucked up is because of the premise. And so it's about a 14-year-old boy. Keep in mind, it's a 14, like a kid in high school. No, that's not what I wanted. And the plot centers around him getting his teacher pregnant, and the story follows his son and how he manages to live his life, and we're supposed to feel bad for the dad in the film. So, the fact is, if you reversed the story... Oh, and the dad is shit. He's like a shit parent, too. So, the son is very resentful. The story makes it seem like it's such a good thing that the kid got laid, and it's almost like ignoring the fact that this is about a 14-year-old. So just the message alone means that I don't care if there's anything funny. I quit watching it within the first 10 minutes. Because it's like, if this was a film about a girl, nobody would be really loving it. But because it's a film about some 14-year-old boy, it's considered to be this comedy. So it's a film that I cannot get behind, and a film that I would give -10 out of 10 stars. Like, it's just -10. I'm not even bothering giving it, like, the dignified, 0 or what have you. No, it deserves negatives, because it's a harmful message. If there's a harmful message portrayed, I automatically put it in the negatives. Though I think there was a lot of backlash for the film, so it gives me hope that people are not completely fucking stupid. There was only like one reviewer who gave it like a positive review. And a lot of people are like, yeah, this guy's a dumbass, so kind of just ignore what this guy's saying because he has absolutely no fucking clue what he's talking about. And I think he was like one of the few reviewers who did things just for the lulz. It wasn't like he gave these honest reviews because, oh yeah, I totally like the original thing. I think it was mostly a troll. There we go. Sweet flower. Hello. It's yours. Yeah, there's... Oh, God, I think, what is it? There aren't that many things that I would put in, like, a 0 out of 10, or even in the negatives. Though I have read one book, which was... I have no idea what the fuck the author was thinking, because this was a kid's book, too. Like, I think this was, like, a book for teens. And there was a plot point where there was a girl who was, like... She was in her teens, too. I don't remember how old she was exactly, but it was established that... Like, I can't remember exactly what happened because, frankly, I was disgusted and I ended up not reading the book any further. But I think it was written in that this old man shows up and he either tries or successfully manages to sleep with the girl. And none of the characters in the book seem to really, like, care that much in the grand scheme of things. The whole book was about the apocalypse, and then they're like, oh, this guy slept with this, like, 14-year-old who's described as a slut. That book I gave negative review, like negative stars. I'm like, what the fuck? This is a kid's book. This is for teens. How is this a thing? Like, I get the idea that we're having, like, the apocalypse, but Jesus. And I didn't go in there expecting that kind of shit. Oh yeah, you're hungry, so I'm gonna have to feed you. No, fill the bin. How much grass do I have left? Milk. I don't know, like, there are just some books where it's like, I'm sorry, this is made for kids? This is a kid's book? 'Cause this, even for teens, this is kind of stupid. Though I can't think of too many other books that I've read that I'm like, yeah, this is the worst thing I've ever read. There we go. That is probably a glitch. What the hell? I was not expecting that to happen. Oh, never mind, it's not a glitch. It just started to rain, like, immediately. That explains it. Holy shit. I wasn't expecting that. It's like, oh, how did that happen? That is convenient timing. That is the most convenient timing ever. Alright, let's... She's probably not going to leave the house because it's, like, raining. Oh, yeah, I need to give the, gifts. What is today? Spring Day 9. I wasn't expecting that. Last year, I read 52 books. Most of them repeats. One year I read 52 books, and all of them had to be unique. And so that's why I've seen, like, a ton of really stupid books. 'Cause I've read a lot of books. So... there was one book that I read, it was called Inside Out, and it was basically a post-apocalyptic book, and it was surprisingly good, given the fact that it was, like, the most paint-by-the-numbers generic story to ever exist. Like, I'm not exaggerating when I say it is possibly the most blatantly insane, like, it was insane how paint by the numbers, how predictable it was, and yet it was still really good, all things considered. It held my interest. Which can be what was it? Garden of Eden. There was a book that I absolutely despised because it was so paint by the numbers and it was so boring as hell. Garden of Eden, and it was mostly because the characters were completely fucking stupid. So, there's a book series, and I need to like, mention this prior. There was a book series called, Among the Hidden, and Among the Hidden, the basic premise was, every person is allowed to have 2 children, and that's it. And the books follow children who are, third kid. So the book, it follows a boy named Luke, who is the third child. And the only reason I'm bringing that up is because there was a book called Garden of Eden that was done worse. It was basically the same premise, except worse. Parents were allowed to have, like, I think one child, and that was it. And the book was about this one girl and her life. And very similar, and this is going to be spoilers for, like, both Among the Hidden and Garden of Eden, but both books follow a very similar premise, where the main character needs to, they want to leave, and then they're basically, ooh, I have a new animal. Think of a name. I'm gonna be very lazy. Anyway, the premise is that both of them are trapped in their house, they hate it, and they want out. The difference being Garden of Eden is a dumber version, because in Among the Hidden, Luke has only gets word that he gets an ID at the very end of the book, and so when he does, both characters do reckless stuff and leave the house, even though it's considered to be very dangerous. Whereas in Among the Hidden, Luke has no idea he's about to get out. He has no idea he has the opportunity. In Garden of Eden, the main character knows that she's about to be able to leave. She knows she's getting a fake ID. She knows she's going to be able to leave. So everything is looking up for her. And yet, she still chooses to be a dumbass and leave. And go around talking to people in public. And it makes you question, what the fuck was the author thinking? Just to add tension to the story, which makes it really, really lame. It's like, okay, you know you're about to leave. Why don't you just not leave? Be an intelligent human being and stay where it's safe? And, like, I'm gonna give credit to and one of the biggest differences is the age. Luke is established to be around 12 years old. So, when he, pretty much. So, when it's established that he leaves for to visit, he sees a girl, and he knows that there's an extra child in one of the houses. And so he decides to leave the house because he wants to take the risk. He's so lonely because of how the house has changed and how everything has become worse for him, that he just decides straight up to leave the house and take the risk so that he's not completely alone. Whereas in Garden of Eden, she has, like, no reason to leave. She's about to get out. She's about to basically get freedom, and yet she still chooses to have temporary freedom on the off chance that she can, I don't know, I don't even remember because it was that fucking stupid. She just wanted to go out for the sake of going out. Which makes you question, how the hell did she manage to sort of stay alive for so long? Well, yeah, but in that case, if she got caught, she would literally die, so it's kind of like, I'm sorry, but, like, you've been told your entire life you will fucking die if you go out and you're caught, and yet your decision is to go out on the risk. Like, and there was no reward. And even then, for Luke, he acknowledges how stupid of an idea it is, and he does, and he's like, yeah, oh, and just a quick spoiler, because, again, I don't even know if I really want to spoil the true ending. Because even though I know I said that he gets an ID at the very end, the book itself is a very short and good read in general. And I'm not going to spoil much more. I highly recommend reading Among the Hidden just for the fact that it's a very good short read. And sleep. Wait. I might as well save because I haven't saved in a while. Yes. I've seen some dumbass character syndrome where it's like, okay, what made you think this was a good idea? Where's my watering can, damn it? Here we go. There's always going to be that character that you're like, how did you think this was a good idea? What made you think that this was going to be working out for you in your favor? So I can't remember if there's ever a book character that I'm like, where I just wanted to look and say, your IQ is in the negatives. No eggs? I'll pick her up later. No, I can't remember. I just know that there's some books where it's like, what? Though there are some books that I like, even though I theoretically shouldn't. Like, I read the book Unwind, which was... It was stupid at places, and yet it was still pretty entertaining. Like, it was stupid in terms of how plot convenient everything was. And I'm not going to spoil Unwind just because I do recommend reading it. If not for the fact that it does show how plot conveniences can make for an interesting read. But the premise is... How do I describe it? Oh, in the future, everybody who Oh yeah, and I doubt that it's not even realistic. It's so far from realistic that it's not even funny. So the entire premise is that in the future, everybody who has a child, they can abandon the child on a doorstep. And so long as the biological parent doesn't get caught, the person who has the child, takes the child in, has to keep the kid. So basically, it's forced adoption. And if the parent doesn't want to keep the child, starting, I think, around 12, all the way up until, like, 18, the parent can literally have their child unwound, which is basically donating all of their internal organs to someone else. Basically, you get to kill your kid if you don't want him. Which, to me, just sounds like a fucking stupid premise. But for some bizarre reason, it works. I have no idea how it works, but it works. And a good percentage of why it works is because the characters are actually likable. There are a lot of different... I can't remember the names off the top of my head because I haven't read in a while. But the characters are pretty likable. So you have the... you have, like, one girl who's a child prodigy, but she's being unwound because the the government can't keep taking care of her, and she had failed one test. So they're like, yeah, we're just going to unwind you and hope for the best. One boy is being unwound because his family just thinks he's a delinquent and he's just not liked. And then the third is a boy, and he's the only one I can remember his name. The third is Lev, and Lev is being unwound because his parents are religious. And they believe that they need to give 10% to God, and so that includes giving their 10th child up to be unwound. So, that's a premise. Oh, hey, the lights are going off. And each character does have a really good story arc. I highly recommend Unwound. It's either Unwound or Unwind. But it's a good dark book, even though it's completely divorced from reality, and I don't think anybody within there, anybody would say, oh yeah, this is a great idea. Let's just fucking kill kids. Though, to be fair, I think it was even established in the book that when people were, like, making it, it was, like, an alternative to abortion, but they kind of did that as a joke. Like, oh, literally no one is this fucking stupid to vote for this in. And then it's like, oh, no, wait, people are that fucking stupid. Waiting for Vesta to leave. That's kind of like a book series I read where, or at least just the book, and I read it and I'm like, everybody here is an idiot. Like, all the adults are fucking idiots, and I'm surprised that this is a thing that is happening. Let's see here. What day is it? Okay, we have one more day until the season is over. Shit. Hopefully my watermelons are done growing by then, because I actually, because usually they just instantly wilt. Damn it. Wee. Oh yeah, you need food. Can't think if there's any other stupid books that I've read that make me question humanity. Oh, it wasn't that I read the book, but these are two things that are kind of vaguely connected, but only through happenstance. There is no reason why these are connected in any way other than reasons. There was a film known as Peanut Butter Falcon, and the brilliance behind Peanut Butter Falcon was that all the adults are dumb. Like, a lot, there are situations where most characters are dumb, but you end up having, like, some characters that are, like, intelligent, and that's more frustrating. When everybody's making, like, really shitty decisions because reasons. I don't know. Oh, I was talking about there was this, Peanut Butter Falcon happened to have, oh, I can't remember her name, but it was like, it was like that one chick from 50 Shades of Grey. She played in the film, and I watched Peanut Butter Falcon, but like, with the headcanon that it was a sequel to 50 Shades of Grey, and that was the funniest shit ever. Like, it brought up the enjoyment factor. Like, the headcanon was Anastasia Steele managed to get a divorce and changed her name, fled the area, and, like, with her husband's money, now lives in a, now lives working for a retirement home, only because she can be generous and not have to deal with anything else. And it was just the funniest thing. Like, is that the truth? Hell no. There is literally no connection to 50 Shades of Grey other than there's like only her as like the link to it. And the funniest thing was I think she was actually a widow in the either she was divorced or she was a widow in the movie Peanut Butter Falcon. And so I'm like, oh yeah, she totally killed her husband and is now pretending to be divorced. She got fed up with his bullshit, so she murdered him, and now we're watching her, like, trying to pretend like nothing ever happened. So at one point she's like, oh, I got my ex-husband's or late husband's initials tattooed on me, and I'm like, she's like, yeah, that was before I realized he was a raging a-hole. God. And I think the film has, like, Shia LaBeouf in it, too. So it was, like, this most random film ever. You have, like, what like, my headcanon version is you have, like, Shia LaBeouf, and then Shia LaBeouf marries Anastasia Steele from 50 Shades of Grey. Or at least the whole point is, like, he falls in love with her. It's fucking hilarious. like that is like the most insane crossover you could ever imagine. 50 Shades of Grey meets Transformers. I forgot he was in that film. Yeah, 50 Shades of Grey meets Transformers, in a cage in Bayou for fuck all. And nobody acknowledges what happened. It's kind of like Shia LaBeouf shows up. He's like, yeah, I'm just gonna be dealing with the consequences, so I'm out here in the middle of nowhere trying to relax. Anastasia is like, yeah, I'm just trying to pretend that my marriage to my abusive husband didn't happen. My abusive billionaire husband. And it's all good. Soon to be harvested. No, it won't. Hey, that's completely fine. You take your time. Whee. Let's see here. Dizzy beyond all belief. I think once the seasons change, the my cow will stop giving milk, then I can just sell her. No, I didn't. I meant to talk. Sakura is fine and pretty happy. Sakura normal. How much do I have left? 31. Not bad. Huh, that's actually pretty decent. Oh, I need a rooster. Because if I have a rooster, then I can make more chickens. Order chicken, yes. Cattle, Sakura is 2,500. Pond, other, animal medicine, tool, watering can, sickle, light. I'm gonna get a light one. Tool. I don't need a light one yet. There we go. Boink. Boink. Fish for a little bit. Eat. Fish. Kind of think. I can't remember if there's anything else. Now. Too early. Dun, 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 dun. Come on. Ooh. I will say, like, oh gosh, the Lego Harry Potter games are super fun. I would highly recommend them. Like, just like on the premise of the fact that they're really easy to speed run, especially if you know what you're doing. The first game I might do a speed run of, but I need to do practice round first. I know I'm not going to get like a world record or anything on that game. Ooh, another Snowit. But all the Lego games are really, really fun. Nice. Hello, Dr. McWeird. Ooh, more milk. Well, it's 4, so... Pick up. Put back. Actually, so... Chickens are worth more just because it takes a lot longer for them to not be able to produce eggs. I should have grown those two at the beginning of the season. Oh well, you live, you learn. Melon, turnip, carrot. Melon seeds. Ooh, summer and fall. Nice. Let's see here. Food. Eat. Open the door and check out everything. Selling 10 milk. Let's see here. Diary. Yes. Can't remember. Twitch. Channel. No, I want to go to my channel. No. Ah, here we go. Open the door. And head off to bed. Sleep. No, I'm just saved. How did I manage to get the blue feather before I managed to get anything else? What the hell? It's best if they stopped their fighting. Hey, let's give it to Lev. Yeah, I could use an engagement ring. Are you always together with one? Not really. They're always arguing. I just found a blue feather on the shelf. Ooh, nice. I wonder if you always get it on spring 1 or something. No, summer 1. Hopefully it's like summer 2. Yay! Wee! Let's see here. Yay! Might as well hack these down. What is today? Let's see here. Hopefully I have enough mort to give the, I know I'm gonna have enough flowers. Yep, summer. Yay. I have like another season worth of shit I can give Gallon. Could check to see if my shipping orders have been, like, I'm getting money, so hopefully I can get that cash. Let's see here. Not yet. Da 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 da. Wee. They're probably still sleeping, so I have to wait. All right. Let's see if I can think of something to say about Harry Potter, because must be sleeping. Yeah, they're not up yet. No one is. Well, except he is. Oh, and I am up. Is Vista up? Hopefully that one girl leaves. Wee, wee, wee. Oh, they're up. Yo, I got you a flower. Ooh, 3. What? It's a pretty nice dresser. Yeah. He has 3 hearts. Please tell me you're gonna leave the house. I'm just gonna sit here and wait for her to leave. Okay, bye. Fuck yeah. It's locked. Darn it. I think I have to unlock, like, the first cutscene, which... What would you like? I have no idea. Back. It's locked. Of course it is. Oh boy. I will say the worst part of the Harry Potter books is the house elves, because they could have been like a really entertaining read had they just been like not included the whole slavery aspect of it. Like, it would have been, even then, like, it would have been entertaining as hell to have, like, the characters... Ooh, what's this? Characters be like, oh yeah, the house elves. Most of them, there's nothing wrong with house elves working at Hogwarts because they literally want to work there because of their own culture. It's only when wizards take advantage of their generosity that things become problematic. Because house elves run on a system of favors, so that would be an interesting concept. Oh yeah, don't worry about the house elves. They work on a system where if you do something for them, they'll do something for you. And that's all they really like to do is work. Because that's the whole system that house elves function under. Dobby doesn't mind getting payments because of the way he views money as a service. So Dobby doesn't mind getting paid because he does like getting stuff, and he understands human culture better than most other house elves. So it's a shame that Dobby gets taken advantage of. So, like, it would be interesting to see how, like, for Hermione, it's like, here's how you do it. Here's how you manage to convince them to take stuff without offending them. And that is, when the house elves, when you're offering something to a house elf, you don't necessarily tell them, hey, by the way, I'm doing it, like, it's very rare. Like, there's, like, a very particular ritual you have to do in order for them to accept material goods.
Come see me when you can.
Okay. Okay, I don't think she can be milked anymore. Like, in order for dairy shipping bin. No, I wanted the egg. Back. Leave. Wonder where Nina is. I wonder if she's at home. Nope. Sell my cow. Order. Sell cattle Sakura. Yes. I would prefer not to have to deal with, like, anything dealing with that. Sakura for sale. Yep. Sorry, Sakura, but I'm not. I can't afford to keep cow. Yeah, you have to be outside in order to wash them. Ooh. This watermelon is ready. Strawberries ready. Will wilt soon. Let's go with seeds. Ooh, new animal. Let's see here. Clear all. Now let's go with a rooster named I wonder if I can spell it. Joe. It's probably misspelled, but I don't really give a shit. Yes. We're naming him Banjo. Be sure to take good care of our new family member. I'm aware I'm hungry. Summon and summon. Summer. Nice. I have to wait for this. Melon. Let's see here. Fall only fast. Sweet potato seeds. Let's see here. Ooh, summer through winter. Fall and winter. I'm not gonna let my animals out because it's a really shitty weather. I don't think I gave her any gifts today. Show. A very good afternoon to you. What a sweet woman. Oh, right. Wait, where is the... here we go. Strong scent. Here. Of course I did. I don't know, like, I feel like there's, like, a lot of things that could have gone so much better for, Harry Potter. Including the fact that, like, Dobby the house elf is just a guy who likes to work. If you're gonna make him, like, a weirdo in his own culture, then making him accept humans and how they use money would have been a really good idea. Wee. 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 Nuzzle, 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 nuzzle. Wee. Nuzzle, 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 nuzzle. Wee. I'm not gonna have a cow soon, so I hope this guy, like, kind of, like, just stops visiting. Because he's a weirdo. Yes. in slot A. I'm aware, I'm hungry. Pause. And I was expecting for something to come up, so I'm gonna end stream here. Let's see here. AV is on, so that's good. And Twitch. Creator dashboard. Stream manager. Nice. Alright. Rate a channel. AV. Time to rate AV. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a nice night. Have a nice day. Wherever you are. Just have a good one. And now on to the raid. Raiding in a few seconds. Raid now.